Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Diandra Ruswulandari, and my NBM is 2106756286. In this video, I will do a book review. The book's title is Pollyanna. Here you can see the book. Next, there are 6 main points that I want to talk about in this video. First main point is the book information. Second is summary of the book. Third, information about the author. 4, my own personal opinion on the book. 5, my recommendation on the book. And 6, which is the last one, is all the reference that I put to make this video. Next is the book information. As you can see, the title of the book is Pollyanna. The writer or the author of the book is Eleanor H. Porter. The publisher of the book is Gramedia Pustaka Utama. The book was first published in 1913 but officially published in Indonesia in 2018. Next, the summary of the book. This book tells a story about a young girl, Pollyanna, who moves into a big house in New England. Upon losing both of her parents, she now had to live with her strict aunt. Regardless of the rocky start with her new environment and had to deal with who never met aunt before, Pollyanna's innocence and positivity could affect every townsfolk she met, including the aunt. The town that once gloomy changed into a lovely, beautiful town because of her. Pollyanna could spread positivity through a little game that she came up with her late father. But when an unexpected accident strikes her, Pollyanna felt hopeless and frustrated about her conditions. Therefore, all the townsfolk decided to move together to help their town's little angel. Next is information about the author. The author's full name is Eleanor Emily Hodgman Porter. She was born in 19 December 1868 in Littletown, New Hampshire, United States. She was married to John Lyman Porter and then moved to Cambridge, Massachusetts with her husband. At first, she was pursuing a career in music, but at the same time, she showed a writing talent. Then, at 1901, she decided to pursue a writing career. She then became a writer, and her first and second novel actually had a very large audience, readers. But when Pollyanna got published in 1913, which is her third novel, it was her most popular work. Pollyanna got translated into 8 languages. There was a play based on Pollyanna in 1916. There was also a motion picture starring Mary Pickford in 1920. Starring Haley Wills, Walt Disney produced the movie named Pollyanna in 1916. Here is the poster. Here you can see the poster of Pollyanna which Walt Disney produced. Next, in 1917, Eleanor H. Porter publisher had trademarked the word glad and Pollyanna. The writer career ended at the age of 51 due to pulmonary tuberculosis that Eleanor developed. She died at age 96 and then buried in Mount Auburn Cemetery. Next, I will talk about my own personal opinion on the book. First, reason I love the book. I have read many different books before with a different genre, with a different message, with a different complexity, different characters, but Pollyanna actually left me impressed with the book's simplicity and the book's message. I will explain the message later, but I will talk about the few main reasons why I love the book. The first one is I love how the author or the writer describe the different view between a young, innocent, 11 years old girl, which is Pollyanna, to the usual adults that Pollyanna meets before, but that Pollyanna meets in town that always had three characteristics, which is first, always gloomy, second, don't trust anyone, and fourth, always doubts everything. So when Tom meets Pollyanna, the townsfolk meets Pollyanna, they couldn't trust Pollyanna, even though she was just a child. She was just a young, curious child. She couldn't trust her. So when this interaction happens and the writer describes the adults' point of view and then the Pollyanna point of view, it was very refreshing and very interesting. The second thing that I love about the book is the character's development. Every character, every townsfolk that Pollyanna's met, they didn't suddenly change their attitude or their view on the world suddenly. They changed gradually with their own realization with the help of Pollyanna. With Pollyanna innocent word, gave them a meaningful words that make them feel like, oh yeah, you're actually right. It was a simple word with minimum negativity. I should watch or see the word in positive view, little more. So every townsfolk that she met, they didn't silently change, they gradually change, they become a little more kinder, a little more patient, smile more. So I really like those results that Pollyanna give to the townsfolk. Pollyanna didn't realize that the power or the positivity that she spread, but every townsfolk deeply, deeply grateful, feeling grateful towards Pollyanna. Second thing that I want to talk about is my love-hate relationship with the ending. What I love about the ending is the character development of Pollyanna's own. Character development happens very towards the ending, so that's why I put it here. And the one thing that I mildly hate about the ending is the cliche and unfulfilling ending. I will explain. When the aunt got introduced at the first time, I disliked her. She was very overly strict to her own needs, and it came off as mistreating her. She put the young Pollyanna, 11 years old Pollyanna, in the attic, even though in her house, in the aunt's house, she had a lot of empty rooms. So it was very strict. I don't know. It came off as mistreating her, and then but if the aunt didn't take a pity upon hearing Pollyanna's story of Pollyanna's life before moving in with her aunt, I think maybe Pollyanna will forever grow up in the attic. So I'm kinda thankful Pollyanna told the aunts about her story, but I didn't like the reason why the aunt put Pollyanna's in a good room in one of the rooms, not in the attic. But it was a development nevertheless. Uh, and but after several weeks living with Pollyanna, the aunt's attitude gradually changed. You can, we can, I can see the difference when the the Pollyanna accident occurred. When Pollyanna accident occurred, the Pollyanna's aunt is greatly deeply worried about her, about Pollyanna's safety, about Pollyanna's happiness and everything. She was overly worried and want the best for Pollyanna. So even the character's aunt, realized her own pain, realized how different she was before meeting Pollyanna. You see things from an overly strict aunt who couldn't ever bear to look at Pollyanna's direction, to a lovely, beautiful aunt who is worried about her niece's safety and secretly wish for her own niece's happiness. So the character development is very beautiful and very wholesome. It was just a good thing. I love the difference. And the second thing that I don't really like about the ending is the cliche and unfulfilling ending. I think the ending could be a little better if the writer could describe or could write a little about Pollyanna's when she is in full recovery. I think the theme could fit a little better with those ending. But there is also a sequel on Pollyanna, so maybe the writer put Pollyanna's in full recovery in those books, so I couldn't really complain. My favorite quote. So my favorite quote is the message that the book's trying to give. The best description that I could give about the game, about the quote, is just glad. Actually, at page 187, Pollyanna explained the Just Glad game to her town's minister. She explained to him the game is about finding something in everything to be glad about. This quote came from her father. When her father was still alive and she was living with her father, there was always a sport packages that always comes to their house, and father and Pollyanna could request something to be put in those packages. Pollyanna requested a beautiful, pretty doll to be put in those packages, but when the packages arrived, she received crutches. She doesn't need crutches, right? So she was upset about the crutches. And when the father looked at Pollyanna's face, which is very upset and want to cry, but she shouldn't be crying because it will come off as ungrateful. Her father told her about the game, the Just Glad game. At first, Pollyanna obviously confused about the game. It was weird. It was Just Glad game. What is that? It was weird, right? So the father explained to her that she will be glad because she doesn't need those crutches to walk. So this basically is the Just Glad game. After listening to her father's explanation, she then understand this game. She then played this game. She played the game with her father. Even after her father died, she still played with her caretaker before moving to her aunt's house and then play together with the townsfolk. I actually really like about this quote. I even put a reminder about this quote. So every time I had a bad day, I always look at this quote. It always helped me. It always helped me. Next, I will talk about my recommendation. Overall, I will give this book 8 out of 10. I recommend this book for every gender and age. The Just Glad theme will actually help the readers see the world a little different, a little better, a little more positivity. If everyone has Pollyanna's positivity, the world will be a little more peaceful and a little more happier. So I really recommend it to everyone. Next, reference. I made the video with reference of Friends of Mount Auburn, which is right at May 8, 2012, and here are the link. And also from Goodreads, which is Eleanor H. Porter biography. That's it. That's my book review on Pollyannas. I'm sorry if I talk something wrong or my pronunciation is weird and you couldn't hear it very clearly. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.